What's good? It's your boy CJ Goodfellow. We back with Motor City Lions Talk. Double dipping today. Never know, we might triple dip. But another video. I'm gonna link this Facebook page to the description so you can join the Facebook page as well. Hit the like button. Appreciate it, man. But we here, and you know, as far as we spoke earlier on Matt Patricia potentially not taking the Lions job and spreading to the New York Giants job. I know we talked about they rumored that Mike Vrabel might be number 2. But I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Josh McDaniels, man. Even if I don't have to pick off the Patriot tree, because you look at the other candidates, Steve Wilkes, Jim Bob Cooter, Pat Shurmur. I mean, you go on and on. And Pat Shurmur obviously had a head coaching gig with the Browns, and we know how that is. Bill Belichick coached the Browns. You know how that went. It's just they a real cursed organization. And hopefully sooner or later they pull it together. But that's another conversation that we don't even have right now. But Josh McDaniels, that's my pick for the coaching. And I understand that he messed up with Denver. It was some immaturities with him. He did beat Bill Belichick in Denver with Brandon Marshall and Jay Cutler. They was on a crazy winning streak as well. And it just fell apart for him. I mean, you look at him. He had 2 lame duck players. And Brandon Marshall was my favorite receiver for years. Even when Megatron was with the Lions, it was just I liked his physicality across the middle and off the line, and I really liked him, man. But they never been winners wherever they went. Now looking in hindsight, Brandon Marshall's never been to the playoffs. I don't believe. Jay Cutler's never really did nothing in the playoffs. He won 1 playoff game with Chicago, NFC Championship game, got knocked out. And of course, Josh McDaniels may have been too immature at the time. You could liken him to, Lane Kiffin and his immaturities, but I think Josh McDaniels has proven that, he's doing great things for Tom Brady, obviously, but he's proven to be a student of the game and an elite mind, offensive mind in the game. You guys didn't like the way Caldwell's demeanor was. He wasn't fiery. He didn't show any emotion. He was stoic. That was him. A lot of guys didn't like it, act like he didn't care. Josh McDaniels gonna fire off. Even as he maturing, he's still lighting to Brady. You think he won't lighten to Stafford? You think he won't lighten to the defense? You think he won't lighten to Marvin Jones, Golden Tate? I like his mindset. And understand, he failed once with the Denver Broncos. He was immature. It was before his time. But you have an organization that's not the Cowboys, that's not the Patriots, that's not the Raiders, that's not the Steelers. These marquee positions is similar. I'm going to make an analogy. It's similar to being the Detroit Pistons, or a middle-of-the-pack NBA team. You have to scout and find diamonds in the rough to really compete and make a championship team. May it be in the draft or free agency, you have to find the right pick. You have to find the diamonds in the rough. You're not going to get the marquee players and names all the time unless you overspend. But there are diamonds in the rough. There is an Isaiah Thomas that plays for the Cavs now. Out there is a Donovan Mitchell that got passed for by the Utah Jazz. There is a Kyle Kuzma that got passed on and got to the LA Lakers. And I think your Donovan Mitchell, Isaiah Thomas, Kyle Kuzma for the Detroit Lions is Josh McDaniels. A guy that failed before. Look at a guy like Donald Trump. And I know a lot of people don't like Donald Trump for good reason, but I'm talking about the business Donald Trump. The Donald Trump that filed bankruptcy several times. The Donald Trump that failed plenty of times in his business career. And plenty of successful business people have failed several times. And some of the most failures in the world are the most richest and powerful people in the world. It is nothing to fail. He failed, and I believe he's a smart guy to learn from his mistakes. He's not getting a lot of traction out here this year for head coaching jobs. But in other years, he was interviewing, I think, with Atlanta or some other jobs. Don't quote me on that. But I think he's your guy for the Lions. And not only did the Lions make a mistake by letting Terrell Austin go to Cincinnati, potentially, which I'm not even sure if he signed a deal yet, but if they could have kept Terrell Austin and let Josh McDaniels run the offense and build his staff that way, it would have worked. But since they want to let Mike Vrabel be the head coach and be the head coach of the defense, let Vrabel be the defensive coach, let McDaniels do the offense and head coach, and they can grow together. And potentially, if they have some success, Vrabel can be a head coach. Or Josh McDaniels can move on and go somewhere else and you can elevate Mike Vrabel. And you can start building that staff that people want to cherry pick off of and build their coaching staff. And you could be a very respected organization. And once you build a staff where you got great coaches and you have a city in Detroit that is coming back, that Dan Gilbert and other major people are investing in. You got Google, Amazon coming here. We see that the car industry is going back in the shitter. So you have other companies that's willing to invest into Detroit. You have the building of downtown Detroit, and a lot of people show the bad areas of Detroit where it's just as many bad areas. It's just as many great areas in Detroit, and the suburbs are some of the best suburbs of any major city. Macomb County and Oakland County are two of the richest counties in America not too long ago, and still probably amongst the richest. So you have something to build on as an area. And if you could build the coaching staff, you could build the organization, the front office, then you can get free agents to come here. Then you have people that want to come here and stay. You got the facility, you got the owner that got the money. Now you building a powerful program overall, organization. And then, you don't have to be California, Oakland, Dallas, New York to get the Matt Patricias, to get the Bill Belichick, to get the John Grudens or whatever it may be. You got a city that's on the come up. You got a coaching staff that's on the come up. You got the organization that's on the come up. People going to want to come play with you. You ain't got to go out there and recruit free agents. They're going to come to you. And I think the beginning of it is pairing Josh McDaniels with the head coach. Because why would Josh McDaniels go from the offensive coordinator to the offensive coordinator of Detroit Lions, from New England to the Lions? You make him the head coach. Mike Vrabel can become the defensive coordinator. You're going to have to pay, but the Fords got the money. Pay both of these guys to come, And maybe, McDaniel can have Jim Bob Cooter under his tutelage and they can work together. So you salvaging stuff and you building coaches for the future. And I think Josh McDaniels, and paired with Mike Vrabel, whoever else, I think McDaniels is the guy in my opinion. And I could be totally wrong. I don't get paid to make these decisions. I'm just giving my 2 cents in. I understand there's other good coaching candidates, but I like even McDaniels over Patricia because I believe and I know the Lions offense is the major problem right now. But let me know who y'all think the next head coaching candidate should be if it's not Matt Patricia. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook as well. I'll leave a link in the description. We gone.